We don't agree with Donald Trump on much, but we did agree when he said in 2019 that great nations do not fight endless wars. And we were hopeful when he promised no new wars. But like so many times before, he betrayed that promise on February 28th of this year when the United States launched military strikes against Iran alongside Israel without a vote of Congress, without a declaration of war, and without a budget to pay for it. That is not ending endless wars. That's starting a new one. No authorization for use of military force. No exit criteria. No budget. Those are not political luxuries. They are the operational foundation that tells a pilot what the mission is, what winning looks like, and when the mission is over. When that foundation is absent, you get 13 or more service members killed, 108 days, $113 billion, and no one in Washington can give you a straight answer about what we gained? I flew combat missions. I trust the crews who flew this one. What I do not trust is the decision-making that put them there.
Fort Hood is in my district. 25 to 30% of households in Bell and Coryell counties have a family member who are in uniform. And I served in uniform as a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division. And that's a job built upon one idea: to be ready to go at a moment's notice wherever they need you the most. And I bring that same readiness to this fight for the families who I serve in this district. While this administration has spent $113 billion on a war that was never authorized, here is what it did to the people it's supposed to serve. It cut Medicaid, and in this district, that hits working families who count on it to cover their children. And this also hit military families because nearly 1 in 10 military children who are on TRICARE also depend upon Medicaid to cover what TRICARE does not. They also cut SNAP, and a significant share of junior enlisted families use SNAP to make ends meet for their families in between paychecks. At Fort Hood, families have raised the alarms about the cuts to special education and the schools that serve the children of the people we ask to sacrifice everything for. Cutting food assistance and education assistance from a soldier's family while spending $113 billion on an unauthorized war is not fiscal responsibility, it's just cruelty.
The message being sent to military families right now is this: we will ask everything of you and we will cut everything for you. That is not service to those who serve, that is abandonment.
The Secretary of Defense also has blocked more than a dozen officers from promotion. Officers who've survived every board review, every evaluation, and every test the military built to find its best people. Not blocked for performance, not for conduct, but they were blocked because of what they looked like, or because the Secretary personally decided that his personal assistant deserved the stars someone else had earned. And what Hegseth is doing to that system is something every veteran in Congress should be able to name clearly. A political appointee overriding merit-based boards without documentation while personally advancing an aide? The proposed Military Promotion Integrity Act requires one thing: written justification, citing the service record within 10 days of any removal from a board-approved list. That is a condition Congress has every right to impose on the exercise of authority granted by statute. We're asking every veteran member of Congress, regardless of party, to co-sponsor a bill to restore merit-based promotion.
Texas has 15 military bases, to include Naval Air Station, Joint Reserve Base, Fort Worth. Texas also has nearly 1.5 million veterans. And Texas deserves representation from people who know what war actually costs, not just in dollars, but in lives and to our families. Right now, the Texas congressional delegation sends only 8 veterans of the 38 representatives to Congress. Every one of them is a Republican. The Democratic side of the Texas delegation sends 0 veterans to Washington. The way that the Republican gerrymandering worked out, the total number of veteran representatives will drop to only 4 after the November election, and Texas veterans will lose representation. As a Marine, it's not our position to question every mission, but as a representative, it is our job to ensure Congress has the military oversight that the Constitution demands. Unfortunately, the Republican representatives in Texas are too busy trying to out-Islam each other than to focus on what really matters to the lives of our service members. Our training teaches us how to achieve the nearly impossible and to lead and serve. Texas needs to maintain a strong veteran voice in Washington so that decisions are informed by the people who understand what military service is and what it demands of our families.